And also we have been with him in the trenches when some time back there was a lot of misunderstanding, the role of transport, road versus SG, and trying to explain that the volumes which are here are enough for everybody. So there's no need for legislation. There's no need for police to go around the road telling you why unapita huku, not huku. But we are glad the new regime understood and saw the sense in what we were saying. And they said importer is supreme. Even before this, we had, and I remember I really championed the time we were talking about $1 a ton discussion. I don't know how far that went, but I think it has been overtaken by events. Now we're in what we are. And as my members have told me before, when I help, I think mostly were my people, because we don't park. Ato kitutafuta barabarani, you'll not find us, because we just leave the yard, straight into the port, load, and straight into the CFS. That's what kitutafuta pa barabarani, and enforcement atutakutana. But then lots of people started asking, fine, we don't park on this, but some of us are paying already the monthly fee. The monthly fee for our trucks, and then again we go to the port, we're told again to pay for the container. And I said, and I told them, you know, the leadership which is there now is not that the one which was there before was different, no. The leadership for Mombasa, I will say, is very talks to the people. And these are, in anything new you're starting, although it is not new, we're only transferring from the daily app, we are paying through the app to the KPA invoice. That's only transfer which was happening. But any new development normally has its problems, and we call them teething problems. And I know we have not addressed all, but as we move along, we'll address to the satisfaction of all of us, so that we don't make also the business expensive in Mombasa. So I want to say thank you, and I believe I'm talking for my people, and we're in support, and we'll continue working with you, Governor. Thank you.
It's true, we were tear-gassed with them. A number of them here, and I'm glad. I'm glad at least what I stood for has now helped me when I'm the governor. The reputation that we have had. I represented KTA when I was a member of parliament. I had to go and represent them to make sure that they are not overcharged. I have represented the shipping lines in a number of incidences. I have represented, I think, all of you. The millers as well, I have represented them. And of course, I know what I did when I was the chair of PIC to help KPA as well, including the workers of KPA, who at that time were being told they all have to now refund money that had been paid in terms of excess overtime. So I know what I've done, and I'm not a different person. The only thing is, I'm now wearing a different hat. The hat that I was wearing before was a member of parliament. The hat that I'm wearing now is the governor of Mombasa. And you all know what it is that we have been able to do together. So maybe we get Elijah.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. His Excellency, the Governor of Mombasa, Abdul Somad Sharif Nasir, the Honorable Cabinet Secretary and Senior Advisor to the government, Mr. Moses Kuria, the Vice Chair of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Mustafa, my good friend, Dr. Deng, the Executive Secretary of Northern Corridor, captains of the industry, all protocols observed. My name is Elijah. I'm standing here at the capacity of the Chief Executive Officer of KSA. Of course, I am accompanied by senior members, CEOs of shipping lines and managers. I think we have walked a long journey with the governor. He has been very assistive to us as an industry. And I think I always tell people that as shipping agents and shipping lines, we are first mile and last mile. And what we ask of everybody is efficiency. The ship is attached to the container. I was just telling Dr. Deng the other time that I met him, they should not complain about the 3 days that they are given to South Sudan. It's a deterrent. Shipping lines don't make money by earning demurrage or storages. They want the ship to be in motion and the container to be in motion. Mark you, some of these containers are leased containers. Depending on the lease agreement, it could be yearly, it could be on a day basis. But I thank the governor. I think the governor has been very instrumental. He's been a catalyst of this. He knows the port very well. He understands it from his father. And he's been very close to me personally. He's been helping me a lot. Actually, at times I forget whether he's the governor and I just pick the call and call him, forgetting about the protocol. So we appreciate, but the most important thing that the governor has mentioned is that this cost will be on pass to somebody, either the shipper or the empty container depot. But the function of improving Mombasa, we have seen, it is, they say that action speaks louder than word. We can see what the governor has done. The town has become clean. Institutions are working in the hospital. So we are behind you, the governor, and we will keep supporting you. And we are asking our CS here to see how we can attract more ships into Mombasa. We have seen in the last 5 years, we have had 5 new lines calling. And this is a testimony that the port has been improving. So we are looking at even handling 4 million TEUs, maybe in the coming year. But we know that improvements are ongoing, but we have to work in tandem. We are a conveyor belt, and if one portion is missed, then we slump. Thank you so much, Governor. Appreciate, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Elijah. Elijah used to be my informer when I was a member of parliament. Whenever there's anything to do with port issues, if you see me, I was chatting. I was not chatting. I was actually asking him questions. Anything that was related to the shipping industry. Sasa nikifika pale bunge, when I used to stand up, I used to shine. People used to wonder, how is this guy knowing all this thing? He was my informer. So thank you, Elijah. KM. He never advertises for himself, but you need to take Baraka Chai. Yeah.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for this engagement. I accept my apologies from our chairman, Mr. Abdallah. He really wanted to be here with you today, but I'm lucky he sent me. If he was around, probably he wouldn't have sent me. Not sure whether you like him being here because he's one gentleman who can remove meat from a crocodile's mouth. I want to thank you for engaging us. I know as late as last week, we stayed in your office until late, trying to address the challenges we are having. And it was not the first time. You have been doing that regularly. As manufacturers, we are huge consumers of transport services, and indeed, the port services of Mombasa. So any initiative that will improve the environment of manufacturing will indeed be supported by my members. All we want is to find a better way of implementation so that we don't feel like one sector is disadvantaged, perhaps at the point of intervention or collection of those taxes. I believe Mombasa has the ability and capability of becoming the economic hub of this country. We have all the advantages. We have a lot of unemployed people. We have a very good port. And I think it's one county for manufacturers to watch. And with our able economic advisor, who is also happens to be my friend, Honorable Moses Kuria. This is one county to watch for manufacturers. I know we have some few issues that we are still addressing, which I don't want to bring them here because you have given us a very good opportunity to address them. But we'll keep on reminding you because we don't want to ambush you in 2027 and say you have not completed ABCD. So from our side, we want to really thank you and your team who have been very helpful and pray that Mombasa will indeed become the manufacturing hub that we all aspire to make it. Thank you, Bwana Governor. Asante sana.
I was taught that you never speak to people when they're hungry. Na jamaa wanatuletea mapochopocho. I think maybe we get a word from this, because I think there's cereal millers. Yes, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency, all the guests. I'm sorry I'm not good on these protocols. I'm Albert Elfi. I'm Terminal Planning Manager for East Africa for Maersk Line. Thank you, Governor. We are always been engaging a lot, and I think if you recall that about this hazardous thing, it was raised my side like a while ago, because actually I'm looking for the whole region so I can see where we are. Few points and quick I would like to raise that the first thing I just need to raise something here that we just need to compare ourselves to ourselves, not to an other like region, other country, other port. I think it's better if we compare ourselves to ourselves because that's what we are looking for in terms of efficiency. Who knows me here, he knows that I'm directly straight to the point, straight to the efficiency, straight to the implementation. So the main thing, if we're talking about implementing something right now, if it's a cost or any kind of levy or anything, we just need to make sure that that's clearly implemented without any disturbance to the operations, because trucks and gates, it's really important for us. Because right now, what we can see about efficiency, all the ports around the world are mainly around the gate and the yard and the vessel itself. That's the main queues, and also for the SGR. So we are talking about the gate, which is most important. If we talk about some other countries and some other regions, we have some issues there. I can show you a lot of videos around Africa, how the roads are totally blocked for at least 24 hours from our trucks, from our industry. So what we need to make sure of that it's about payment. So if there is a payment that never stops a car on the gate or the truck, that's mean. Let's talk about professionally right now. Thank you, and Ramadan Kareem. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I think actually he's actually rounded the whole thing. What we're after is basically just efficiency. And a commitment that we are giving right now is exactly that. There's no need for our people to stop anyone outside. We will remove all our enforcement officers. We'll replace them now with traffic marshals. We'll remove the potholes and replace them and by the way, even the road, Captain I think is aware, the road outside KPA, the one that you guys, not because it belongs to us, it actually is a Kura road. But you know, I actually took that burden on ourselves as a county government. We've written to the national government and told them, transfer that road to us. It is easy for me to say that it is not my responsibility. But I actually wrote and said, give us that road, we will handle that road. Because we know that road, the way it is a disaster for the people in Shimanzi and the trucks getting, so you can be rest assured, efficiency will be there and it will increase. I think maybe if there's anyone else who wants to add a word? Yes.
Yes, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Salim Nasib Mbarak. I represent the cereal millers in all port matters. Your Excellency, you've made history. We've never had an Iftar dinner organized by your former predecessors. It's history in the making, and we don't take it for granted. Thank you so much for hosting us for this Iftar dinners as stakeholders. I think all of us have supported the initiative from the previous speakers, Governor, that if you look at all ports, all world-class port cities, they are what they are because of a small portion of the revenues from the port which they collect. So it's not something new. If you look at benchmarking, we will see the ports of Rotterdam, Genoa, the ports of Durban. Those port cities are what they are because part of the revenues from the ports is shared to the city councils or cities. So it's not something new. We support you for those initiatives, and we know very well if you add into your revenues, the development progress in this county would be much more than it is now. We will support you, and I think that's the main point I would like to share with my colleagues who are here. Let's support the governor, let's support the governor, let's support the governor. Thank you.
I think, Captain, when you were doing public participation, I spoke in your public participation. So it is important. I know you're microphone shy, unlike Moses Kuria, but you're saved by the fact that we have only about 5 minutes to the call of prayer for them. These guys will stop listening to us in the next 5 minutes. So wasalimie, wajue ya kuwa uliko hapa, and then Moses, maybe you can take the opportunity to also say hello to our friends.
Good evening. Mine is just to appreciate and to thank you, Governor, government spokesman, advisor, CS Kuria, asante sana kwa kuja Mombasa. Mimi governor yangu ni kukushukuru. Namba 2 ni kushukuru hao watu wetu wamekuja hapa. But one thing which I would have really wished, and allow me to break protocol, because I have one of the biggest stakeholders. When we want to run these things, then they'll come later on and say it was not consultative. I would kindly request Richard, just come and say something, because you are one of the biggest stakeholders in this thing.
Bwana Governor, MD, Bwana Kuria, and other stakeholders, my name is Richard Okwiri. I stand here as Chairman of Empty Container Depot Association. We have been working this journey with Bwana Governor. I've been in his office almost 3 times with our members. And I'm happy that the things have articulated that this thing be into invoice. That's the move that I'm praying for all along. And we need to build the county. Our governor is a servant like our MD. Their doors are open. Anytime you call them, you want them, they'll answer your calls. Not like other. Even my governor for my county, I don't even reach him, but I can reach Governor Nasir. So I support that initiative. We do maybe 5-6 trips a day. So when it's that, just put a little, just put little amount that is comfortable. Mswahili anasema kula kidogo pata usingizi. I think that's what is important. Thank you, Bwana Governor. I support.
Thank you very much, Richard. And that's what I really needed to hear from you, because on Monday when I start, I don't want you to come again to my office to say it's not workable. The other stakeholder which I really needed, if you could have been here, is Moiben for the CFSs. Yeah, for the local shunting trucks. Or do we have a representative from the local shunting trucks? If it is not there, then I will ask Nzeki, the CEO of CFS. I want to hear him. Joe, I concur.
Performance contract. But the governor again and captain, as I said, and I recall, if you play the video, I said, I know there are small teething problems, but we'll address them. Because some of us already were paying the monthly in advance per truck. And then you go again to the port, you are charged again per container. But I know we'll get away by Monday, Bwana Tony, to see how we can harmonize these two. And we are not opposing. I know this is going to bring a lot of efficiency, and we are supporting it. But we'll work with it. Yes, okay, thank you.
Actually, I just want to confirm, from Monday, hopefully, once we are able to effect this, there'll be no more. We are going to remove all the monthly charges, that we're removing all the charges that are there for clamping. We're removing every other charge, and we're also going to waive anyone who had previous charges. All those charges will be deemed that they have been waived. So I think nitakuwa nimefanya upande yangu. So you will no longer be needed to pay any monthly. You will no longer be needed to pay any daily. In fact, all our people outside, we're going to disable everything to do with trucks. We'll just collect from the port alone. Sawa?
What I'll ask is if we can have this in a nice write-up so that I can communicate to my people.
And the letter will be with all stakeholders by tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Your Excellency, because for me, it is only to be told effect and I effect. So, and today, what I needed to hear, because the biggest challenge we normally have here is that we agree, but when you implement, I was not consulted. So, the issue of I was not consulted, I think everybody has heard from here that from Monday, save only for one thing, Your Excellency, the issue of what Richard has said. If this truck is coming 6 times in a day, what will we need to do? Again, if a Nzeki truck is coming to the port 3 times, so who is going to pay for this? So I think it is something that the trucker, Richard, you agree? What I can request, Your Excellency, is that we allow these people on Monday morning to sit down, iron out that thing, so that by noon, we have everything ready. And one thing which I also want to say, Your Excellency, is that the key thing for us is efficiency. We need to have your traffic marshals to support the police, because we need fluidity in the port. Because any delay will grind the operations to halt. You know, we have some trucks that are bringing containers rightly from the depot directly to the ship. And these are trucks that we don't want to delay. So those small teething problems, I can request that CFS Association, Richard and your team, the other team which is led by Moiben, and probably a representative from the shipping line again, so that, because these are your customers and we would want the trucks not to be able to delay. So probably Elijah to represent Kenya Ships Agents Association, and probably one person from Kifwa. I don't know if we have a representative from Kifwa. Rajab, I think you said last time you are in support. So I hope also on Monday you will not come and say, please, I was not consulted. Governor, because today, personally, I was coming to break the fast with you. I was just prepared to come and eat. I was not prepared to come and have a discussion. But because I've seen my boss here, I want all of us to appreciate what CS Moses has done for us in the port. For us to be where we are, for us to be able to break even that 2 million TEUs, he invited stakeholders, and he's the one who facilitated His Excellency the President to come to the port, at least to unlock all the trade barriers that we've been having in the port. But hatujamaliza, Moses Kuria, we still have some small issues which we need to sort. What we are saying is this: whereas everybody would want to get something in the port, but we will also want to see you doing something. You know, would want some agencies, when you start introducing charges, introduce a charge, but also be able to do something. What the governor is doing is investing also on the truck marshalling yard. And he's also supporting, you see, the issue of clamping of trucks that has been torn for customers, the transporters, is waiving it. So there's a service he's doing. But these other agencies, you want to introduce a charge which nobody knows what it is what Bwana Moses would kind of request that we still need to have that consultative thing again, and the delay in supporting our business community. So, karibu sana CS Moses, and we really appreciate you so much. Asante, Governor.
I think mine is just to say a big thank you. Adhan has been said. As we hear Moses, we can just break our fast. And I think from there, no more speeches because people are hungry now. And I think you're also bored of my voice. Karibu sana, Captain. Karibu, Moses. Thank you. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Mombasa, my brother, Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir, the MD Kenya Ports Authority, port stakeholders, captains of industry, Assalamu alaikum. Ramadhani Karim. I don't want to take your time. I know it's time for Iftar. And I think the governor has asked me to speak at this point because only me can compete with food. So I appreciate that. But really I want to say just a few things. One, I think now I qualify to call myself a nationalized citizen of the county of Mombasa. I really think I have earned it. And this journey, Governor Abdul Swamad and I, in the 12th Parliament, I was the Vice Chair of the Transport Committee. And the Governor was the Chair of the Public Investment Committee. And he used to have this tug of war, who should speak for the port? I say, I am the Vice Chair of Transport Committee, this is my business. And Governor would say, not only am I in charge of the Public Investment Committee, this is a parastatal, but I am also from Mombasa. So I used to submit to that. But together, we have really achieved many things. I remember when I was Minister for Trade, this gentleman came to my office. Actually, he didn't even come to my office. He had the guts to call me to a hotel and ask me in Serena Hotel to give the license for the Mombasa Special Economic Zone. It took me 4 days, and I called him to State House Mombasa, and we actually, the photos, when I gave him the license for the Mombasa Special Economic Zone, there were not even cameras. We took the photos of him and the president using my phone within 4 days. And that became a reality. Later, I would go back to Miritini, where we launched the County Aggregation and Industrial Park in Mombasa. And then, wonderful thing, in the I remember March of 2023, I called the governor and the captain. He was a new CEO, and we agreed that Dongokundu has been a story for a long time. And together we agreed, let us move to Dongokundu. Other things will follow later. So we called the president, and we did the groundbreaking for Taifa Gas in Dogokundu. And I'm proud to say today that Taifa Gas will be opening the doors to employ the first 2,000 people in January of 2026. Recently, 2 weeks ago, we were here with the governor and the president for the signing of the largest foreign direct investment in the Republic of Kenya. The $1 billion investment by Afrexim Bank that will go towards Dongokudu. That really is a major milestone. And I think as we embark on that journey, because I've been promised by the investors that from the beginning to the end, that Dongokudu will be fully alive within 18 months, and the landscape and the economy of Mombasa will never be the same again. As the captain has said, my other story is the story of the Kenya Ports Authority. In May of 2023, as he has mentioned, I convened a meeting for all of you. I can see most of the faces who are here, where we embarked on a 22-point plan for transformation of the port of Mombasa. For a long time, the growth in the port of Mombasa was growing by around 0.5% to 1%. For 8 years, before 2023, for 8 years, the TEUs in the port of Mombasa had increased by only 400,000. When we hired this gentleman, we told him that by the year 2028, you have to lift from 1.4 million TEUs, which we found, to 2 million TEUs. On the first year, he achieved 11%. That is up to 2023. 2024, he grew this to 1.6, 23% growth. And now we are hitting 2 million. We have achieved 2028 target in the beginning of 2025. And that is sufficient proof that the reforms that we started with the president during the Port Users Forum that we convened are bearing fruit. And Captain, I want to tell you that the next time the president is coming here, we are calling these people again. We have some stock taking, they speak. I can see my friend here who was very eloquent during that particular time. At least I want you to tell the president again that the seed that we planted, as we look forward to hitting 3 million TEUs by next year, it is possible and it's doable. How are we going to do it? By the kind of things that we are doing today, working together. County government, national government, let's all work together. I have been visiting a number of ports, Indonesia. The other day I was in Perindo, in Indonesia. And I looked at them and I said, we can do much better. When we finish the one berth, as we are doing in Dongokundu, the Japanese, we have cleared all the bottlenecks to do the Dongokundu berth. And I am sure that within that area of Dongokundu, we can add another 6. On the Kiridini side, I'm sure we can add another 5 berths. So I do not see why, going all the way to the Kilifi side, the Takaungu port, which I have to ensure that we do the port also at Takaungu. So that this whole coastline becomes the next big frontier, so that people don't compete with Dar es Salaam or Djibouti and all the other ports. Finally, Governor, I want to tell you that really I've been accused of being your youth winger. Everybody in Nairobi is telling me, where umekuwa youth winger of Abdulswamad Sharif? But it's because everything I want to start doing, I'm finding a very fertile place. Me, I'm sick with maendeleo. I love maendeleo. And when I find a county where, the other day I told him, watu wanasema watu wa Mombasa ni wapole, they are slow. We give ourselves a challenge. On the matters of health, we work together. Today, Mombasa County jumped from number 31. It is the number 1 county nationally, yeah, in matters healthcare, where we have now even digitized. 95% of all the health facilities in Mombasa are now paperless. People are coming here. The other day I was facilitating Kenyatta National Hospital. They were here to see how technology is working. And they told me, we were challenged by a small facility called Mulaleo. They told me Mulaleo is much more efficient than Kenyatta National Hospital. So asante sana, Governor. And I'm sure that working together, I will actually have to really think of changing my citizenship to be real citizen of Mombasa. And I want to tell you something. Out there, people don't know Tanzania. People know brand Zanzibar. And as I told Governor Joho before, it is possible that brand Mombasa can be stronger than brand Kenya. Wale walikuwa wanasema bereni pwani si Kenya. Sasa Kenya iko ndani ya pwani. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
صلاة المغرب